So, what happened in Marseille? Well, put your mask and gloves on for the pestilence party. In 1720, the merchant ship Grand Saint Anton sailed into Marseille carrying fabric, goods, and the free trial of a bubonic plague. Long and the short of it, and I mean short, meaning tens of thousands of people short, the city quickly descended into chaos. Think Black Plague meets French Riviera. Not a good combo. The authorities panicked, the economy tanked, and the people of Marseille had to fight off the microscopic menace without antibiotics, Zoom calls, or TikTok dance challenges. Absolutely tragic. Welcome back to Coin Story, the podcast where every coin has a story to tell, and some of them might need a tissue. Today's tale features a medal that says, "Thank you, science." Now, let's never do that again. We're going back to 1723 France, a time when wigs were large, hygiene was small, and plagues were a thing. Yes, folks, today's guest of honor is the 1723 Bronze Marseille End of Plague medal, designed by the legendary Duvivier. Excuse me, my French is horrible. Duvivier. This medal is basically the 18th century equivalent of a "We Survived 2020" t shirt, except heavier, classier, and without references to sourdough. Let's have a look at the obverse. Front and center, we have Louis the 15th, young, royal, and looking like he just walked out of a powdered wig catalog. He's facing right with a crisp laurel on his head, and as if to say, "Yes, I am 13 years old and already better dressed than you." Around him are the words, which translates to Louis the 15th, most Christian king. Because when you're a French monarch in the 1700s, modesty is not on the menu. Now flip that medal over. It's a scene straight out of the Renaissance disaster recovery. A radiant sun blazes from the clouds. Divine spotlight much? Shining down on the city, presumably Marseille, while the figure, Hygiene, goddess of health, shoos the plague away like a mom telling her kids to take their muddy shoes off. Beneath her, a serpent drinks from a bowl, and classic health goddess imagery. And the Latin inscription basically says, "The plague is gone, and we're not crying, you're crying." So, what happened in Marseille? Well, put your mask and gloves on for the pestilence party. In 1720, the merchant ship Grand Saint Anton sailed into Marseille carrying fabric, goods, and the free trial of a bubonic plague. Long and the short of it, and I mean short, meaning tens of thousands of people short, the city quickly descended into chaos. Think Black Plague meets French Riviera. Not a good combo. The authorities panicked, the economy tanked, and the people of Marseille had to fight off the microscopic menace without antibiotics, Zoom calls, or TikTok dance challenges. Absolutely tragic. But in the following years, through quarantine, burning infected goods, and probably yelling "Sacre Bleu" a lot, the city managed to pull through. By 1723, they had reason to celebrate. The plague was over. So they did what any reasonable society would do. They called Duvivier and said, "Make it shiny. Voila, plague medal." Now let's talk Jean Duvivier, the medal's designer. He was like the Beyonce of French metal engravers, prolific, stylish, and always ready to make history look fabulous in profile. This wasn't his first medal, and it wouldn't be his last. Duvivier knew how to combine classical style with, oh no, humanity almost ended. This medal wasn't just a commemorative piece, it was a symbol of survival, resilience, and perhaps a subtle warning: maybe don't import rats. Fun fact: this medal was struck in bronze because gold was busy being hoarded and silver had run off to Versailles. Bronze, the metal of the people, affordable, durable, and unlikely to be melted down during the next economic disaster. Now, let's be honest. If you're going to survive a plague, you deserve a medal, maybe even two. But this one was especially poignant. It showed the triumph of medicine and sanitation over one of the worst pandemics of the early modern period. In a way, this medal speaks across the centuries to all of us. It says, plagues are temporary, but awkward profile portraits in bronze are forever. So next time you see a grumpy teenager in a toga on a coin, remember, it might just be celebrating the end of a very bad time. And in that sense, it's not so different from us hanging toilet paper garlands in 2020. This has been Coin Story, where every coin has a past, a personality, and occasionally a plague. Don't forget to wash your hands, treasure your tokens. Thanks for listening. Keep on collecting, coin connoisseurs. And remember, every coin has a life and a story to tell if you're patient enough to listen. Welcome to Coin Story. I'm Pete. Coin Story focuses on the history of a single coin. Coins move through the ages from hand to hand and from decade to century. These coins represent the work and culture of the people that own them. Every coin has a story to tell if you're patient enough to listen. Take a little time out of your day and join me for a walk back in time. Every coin has a life, and each coin tells a story.